All right guys, so we're doing an updated install manual for our V1X today. This basically starts off where we have installed the trunk mounts for the UCW on the trunk. The trunk mounts and the support plates and the rest of the kit from basically here down is all the same between the UCW and this V1X wing. We made sure that the wing mounts or the trunk mounts are strong enough to handle the forces with the support plate that we designed and the trunk mount that we have, because you can see I actually bounced on the wing pretty hard. Anyway, what we're going to be doing today is basically installing the uprights onto the trunk mounts and then the wing onto the uprights, and then I'll show you how to basically install these end plates, which very simple. We're basically going to use a bubble level, make sure these are flat. All right, as far as tools required, we have a hammer, we have a 10mm wrench, 1/8 inch and a 1/4 inch drill. You might need a few more drill bits, but that's what we have out. 4, 3, and 2.5mm Allen wrenches, drill, scissors, isopropyl alcohol water mix, painter's tape, and a microfiber towel. All right, so at this point in the install, we have cut out the template and installed it onto the trunk. I have it held on by some gaffer's tape, but you can use painter's tape if you don't have your car ceramic coated. Before you drill the holes, I recommend making sure that basically you can kind of line up the holes and put it on and make sure that everything kind of makes sense. And currently everything does make sense, so we're going to center punch some holes, but it's just a good idea to make sure that everything makes sense before you drill holes in your car. All right, so I've center punched the holes and now we're going to drill. I'm starting with an 1/8 inch drill bit. We'll probably work our way up larger. I don't know exactly how large yet, but start with 1/8 inch. Brace yourself and wow, plastic. That is too easy. Not cool. All right, we're opening up the holes to a little bit over a 1/4 inch right now for M6 hardware. All right guys, so we've basically drilled the holes on the car. Now it's basically time to assemble the trunk mounts, double-sided tape. We got some studs to install and then put them on the trunk. Now, part of what you should do at this point is probably install at least 2 of the studs. We have these 2 installed, and basically install it on the trunk and make sure that all your holes are large enough and that they line up with the holes on the trunk mount. Sometimes if the holes aren't drilled straight or if they walked while you were drilling them, the holes might not line up, and that's, at this point, is a good time to fix that. At this point I've already checked that, so basically I've installed this with no double-sided tape in the trunk. And of course, there we go. So, and then I can obviously easily look and say, oh yeah, all the holes line up. We should be good for the next step, which is to install the double-sided tape. So to install the double-sided tape, I've already washed off this surface with isopropyl alcohol and a water mixture per 3M's recommendation. And then we will basically install this like so, using the holes to guide us. All right, so now that is installed onto the mount. This is basically just a weather barrier to keep some of the water out. Granted, it doesn't matter because it's outside the trunk seal, but we wanted to at least try and keep water away from getting into the trunk as much as possible. So next part, we're basically going to remove the red part from the trunk mount, and then we're going to install this onto the trunk itself. You'll also want to wipe the top surface of the trunk with isopropyl alcohol for the best adhesion of the 3M. I know that the 3M is not actually what's adhering the trunk mount to the car, but if you want the best possible adhesion, it's not a bad idea to do so. All right, so now that we have the trunk mount installed into the trunk, we can install the strengthening bracket underbody piece. So because of how the studs go through the trunk, you can't install all 5 studs at the same time with this part. You basically can do it with these two or a combination of a few others, but I'll just start it with these two, and then you can install the remaining studs. If you were smart, unlike me, you'd probably put a nut on that, and then you don't have to hold it up there, but you're probably smarter than me. I'll just fight it. I'm using a 3mm Allen wrench to install these. Obviously, if it starts to feel like it's cross-threading, don't go harder, stop, fix it. I don't know what else to tell you. But it's just going into aluminum. Once it bottoms out, it gets tight. You don't need to go crazy with it. All right, so all the studs are installed. I'm gonna give them like a quick little, I don't know, quarter turn. Nothing crazy. Just making sure that they're all fairly bottomed out and even-ish. And then we'll grab our M6 washers and nylocks and finish up the install of the trunk mounts. All right, so we've installed all the nylock nuts onto the part. We're gonna use a 10mm socket on a 1/4" drive. Tightening torque is around, I don't know, 6 to 8 foot-pounds max. Nylocks will obviously resist backing off, so really you just need them to be snug, and at that point everything is good. All right, and then the last part of the install is to actually install our Delrin trunk stops. Normally here they are soft cushy rubber, and we basically have Delrin parts that thread into the factory location. They can twist and turn. I have mine set so that they are basically perfect for the trunk shutting. And basically to do that, you want the trunk to basically rest on that as it's fully shut. And you just have to do that with a bit of trial and error. You don't want the trunk sitting up, because obviously that doesn't look good with body lines. But you also don't want it to be able to move down at higher speeds. So you want to make sure that this is very close to or touching that location. There we go. No, there we go. When the trunk is shut. So right at this moment we are installing the upright into the trunk mount. These are M6 fasteners. They are button head cap screws. We're going to use a 4mm Allen wrench to tighten it. And this is for the UCW and the V1X Swan Neck Wing. It uses the same upright. The whole kit from here down is the exact same to the UCW bottom mount wing. Totally interchangeable. We're going to tighten these bolts to about 6 foot-pounds. All right, so we have the uprights installed with M6 button head cap screws down here. We're going to tighten those to 6 foot-pounds. It is now time to install the V1X wing element. And ultimately, we'll throw up an angle of attack diagram. And then you can choose the angle of attack you want. Now, if you are running the UCW at maximum angle of attack, somewhere around the 11 to 14 degree range, we're going to recommend that you start the V1X at around 4 degrees and go from there. Obviously, if you want to go with a little bit more rear bias, if you feel like the rear end was loose with the UCW or it was kicking out around on you, maybe try 7 degrees or a little bit more so that you get a little bit more rear bias, and then as you get more comfortable, start taking angle of attack out and reducing that drag and letting the rear kind of move around a little bit more. So we're going to install that real quick. You're going to need a 5/16 6-point and a 5/16 12-point socket to install the V1X, as it uses NAS fasteners. All right, so we have installed the end plates. This is a 2.5mm Allen wrench. We have some arrow washers here with an O-ring on the back side. We're going to basically clock the end plate to be parallel with the ground. So you can use a level or eyeball it, to be honest, but we use a level. And then tighten these guys to about, I don't know, not tight. It's an M4, so please be gentle. Maybe like 3 foot-pounds. I normally do snug and then maybe 1/8 of a turn or so. Again, don't go crazy. 2.5mm Allen wrench, don't go crazy.